everybody for coming out. This is real painful for me. I'm a Walters, W-A-L-T-E-R-S, and I'm very proud to be a Walters. But I'm definitely a Jacobs. I am definitely a Jacobs. Before I knew the Walters legacy, all I knew was Jacobs. My mother was Uncle Cleo's baby sister. And she was his pet. My mother couldn't do anything wrong in front of Sonny. That's what she used to call him, Sonny. That's what they call him. And I love Uncle Cleo to death, thanks God. Coming up, everybody thought I was a Jacob as well because, I was always on Warwick Street. And if I wasn't on Warwick Street, I was on 126th Street. And if I wasn't on 126th Street, I was on 1010 Elton. But I always was with Byron. And then Maria got her place, we was all with her. And then when Santa got her place, I was a Honeycomb High, that was with her. We always had a spot to go to. And I've been in the martial arts world since 1969. I didn't want to be a martial artist. I don't know how the decision was made, but coming from the background that I came from, you don't ask questions, you told to do something, you do it. It was a Saturday in 1969. We were living on Lincoln Road between New York and Nostrand. We got on the number 3 train, took the Franklin, crossed over, took the number 2 train to Saratoga, my mother and I. And we went to the dojo. Byron was there, Santa was there, Maria was there, Dawood was there. There were some other students, I'm just mentioning the family members. I don't know if Journey and team were there at that time. And they discussed my future. It was like a Chinese wedding where the kids have no choice who they marry. This is who you're gonna marry, shut up, marry her. Take her home, make some kids. Well, that was my future right there. One of my first memories of coming to 85 Livonia Avenue, Hakoti School of Jiu-Jitsu. It was raining that day, and Denise, I know you remember, they had the bench against the wall. When we come inside, they had the beads, you come inside, and we were supposed to take our shoes off in the front, but I was a real troublesome kid. I came in and I stepped on the mat with my shoes on, left that mud on the mat. And that must stay there, I got it too. My uncle was a hard man, but he was fair. And I loved him. 85% of who I am today is from my uncle. And don't get it twisted, I love my father to death. My uncle put me on the map. His name rang bells. And like Kasim put us on the map. The young kid on the map. The young kids, Kasim put us on the map. I said map. Brownsville, East New York, Crown Heights, Flatbush. Kasim put us on the map. And I love you to death too, Colin.
Love you too.
I mean, we go through our things, you go through spells and not speaking to me. You know what I'm saying? And I know I'm not unique. I see you laughing, Rachel. You'll go through spells and not speaking, but you know what though? If he needs me, I am there. You understand what I'm saying? And Uncle Cleo and Kasim were the family protectors. And he gave me discipline, dedication, and determination. He instilled upon me that when you start something, you finish a task. He instilled upon me that excuses are for losers. Nobody wants to hear excuses. Nobody. You're either doing it or you're not doing it. If you're not doing it, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. There were no excuses for missing class, especially when he broke his shoulder and he kept training. He never missed a class. He produced warriors. All his daughters were warriors. And they were warriors, and they are warriors in the professional field as well. His sons were warriors, are warriors. Byron, Kasim, and Kwame. Coming up, we all had to give them our report cards. And because I didn't listen in behavior school, that was never an easy day for me. That was not a walk in the beach, but you know, he produced many black belts, but he also produced many men. I still train today, and training today is not like training was when it used to be. A lot of things are watered down today. You know, there's a lot of, they use headgear and gauzes and badges. We had to do it the real way. You know, we rolled out in the snow. We got thrown on concrete. We did lever rolls on concrete. We trained with live weapons. And at the time, I thought it was insane, but he was preparing me for the future, because this is what life is all about. And as an assistant instructor, I instill upon the students that I touch and teach the same principles that he taught me. You know, a lazy man does double work. There's no such thing as a shortcut. Do it right. No matter how many times you have to do it, sit in and do it right. There was no such thing as a short conversation with Sensei. If I'm lying, somebody stand and correct me. Nobody stood up. There were times when I lived in Pennsylvania, and I would leave where I was at on Fulton Street in Vermont and go to the Poconos, and I would call him while I lived in the Poconos, and he would take me for the whole trip. When I got home, he would talk to everybody in the house and talk to me for another hour. And his mind was sharp. If he put you on pause to answer another call, me, I forget. He came right back to where he left off from. And I'm like, wow, how you do that? You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's the wisest person I know. He talked about the code of Bushido, being a warrior. When Denise, Rudy, Randy, Kasim, Robin, Leslie, and I, we were all coming up, Maria Center, Denise and Kasim were the only ones that physically saw Papa Dare. That's my grandfather. But we all knew of him well. We knew of Papa Dare. That's Cleophas Jacobs I, like we saw him ourselves. All of my kids knew Uncle Cleo. All of my kids knew Uncle Byron. Because we're responsible for our history and our legacy. Dale knew that Byron was in the Glaciers Union. Dale knew that Byron was a top-notch fighter. Dale knew that Papa Dare was the first black president in the Longshoremen's Union in New York. They knew that Uncle Cleo was a Garbier. They knew Uncle Cleo was the top black samurai swordsman in America. That was my responsibility to let them know. All who are sitting here today, Walters, Bookers, Jacobs, we come from good stock. Amen. Our family came from the other side and made their way here and paved the way for us. Denise is the first grandchild living to death on both sides. And she is him. In martial arts, everything begins in every respect. And I want to call my two children up here. Tamir. I'm a member of Kuroshi-Do. I'm a student of Kuroshi-Do. And when you rate, that's bow showing respect. So I want to come with my kids up here and bow to the casket and show respect. Thank you.